Gamma Java dear students, in this video we will provide information and details about the course Certified Information Systems Security Professional. It's my pleasure to present you Boris Goncharov. He is our trainer who will be leading this course. Please, Boris, tell our students more about yourself, your experience, and how many years you have been working in the IT industry.
Okay, so probably it's going to be a long talk, but I've been in the IT industry for, I think, more than 20 years, specifically in cybersecurity. For IT, even more than that. So, a lot of years doing this kind of job, but I think, my professional field is one of the most interesting nowadays. About myself, I can say many things, but most importantly, I've been working in almost all the, let's say, areas of cybersecurity, starting from purely technical stuff, doing some kind of, pen testing work, or analyzing technical vulnerability stuff like that, going to cybersecurity management, governance. So the full 9 yards, basically speaking. So it's a long journey, and I basically really enjoy that journey. And still, I'm very excited about my job, about what I do. I also do a lot of trainings for New Horizons. I've been working as a consultant many years, as a CISO role. So, a lot of things I've been doing in my professional career. Now I'm more focused on strategies, looking into what's going to happen in the future with cybersecurity domain, what companies can do about it, and all the other things that are relevant nowadays and going to be relevant in the future. So, quite interesting stuff. I don't want to go into many details about what kind of customers I've been providing the services, what kind of trainees I have, but there's a long list. Also, I do a lot of public speaking, a lot of presentations and stuff like that. So, that's pretty much what I can say about myself.
Thank you very much for your introduction, and please tell us, according to your observation, what is demand for such professionals like CISSP professional?
Well, actually, demand for cybersecurity professionals is quite high in every possible field. So it's not just about CISSP as kind of one of them, let's say, one of the most recognized certifications in cybersecurity. In general, we are lacking a lot of people in this field, and there's so many potential for everybody to join that field and to develop himself and become a professional. It's really a big problem, and more companies are experiencing this issue, and they try everything they can in order to find and recruit people with the right skill set and the right, let's say, credentials in order to help them out with, this huge problem with cybersecurity. So that's why, CISSP and some other certifications, of course, they are kind of focusing on, let's say, giving to the professionals enough knowledge or expand their knowledge and their skills in order to be more competitive on the market. There's so many estimations around how many people are actually needed. Some says that we're talking about approximately 4 million professionals missing from the market. And also, this kind of expertise and this kind of professional skills cannot be just compensated very quickly and easily. And also, AI is not going to replace full-scale or fully developed and established professional on the field. So this is a high-demand type of job, and CISSP gives you all the right tools and all the credentials that you need in order to succeed on the market. So it's quite well regarded in many ways. It gives a lot of career opportunities and advancement. Again, this is one of the most well-recognized and regarded professional certification in cybersecurity. It provides also credibility. It can demonstrate a solid foundation in many areas in cybersecurity. Also provides you with expanded knowledge about many things. It provides versatile skill sets. It's also really like a golden standard, so to speak, in cybersecurity. So it has a lot of benefits, and the good thing is that it's not vendor related in any way. It gives you broader knowledge about cybersecurity areas, and most importantly, the demand for such professionals is higher than ever. And since it's well recognized, everybody in Europe, all the employees and employers in Europe and US, everywhere, are basically recognizing the value of the certification, and they will be very much more, let's say, considerate if you have that behind your name, the certification. So yeah, it's quite well known and well-regarded certification. So it's something that it's good to have as your kind of a title behind your name, definitely.
Thank you very much. Could you tell us a bit more about the course? What topics will be covered and what practical exercises will include?
Well, that's a funny question. Because actually, if you look at the curriculum and all the topics, all the domains that CISSP has, it's mind-boggling sometimes, because it's actually about everything in cybersecurity. So everything that you could possibly think of is part of this training. So we're talking about cybersecurity and risk management, for example, governance as well. We are kind of talking about asset security, security architecture and engineering, communications and network security, identity access management, security assessments and testing, security operations, software development security. So it's basically everything. So, and that's actually interesting that, regardless of what kind of a professional you are, and even if you have, let's say, years of experience in the field, it's certain that most probably you will not have all these domains in your your daily life and daily routine job, and this is typical. So that's something that it's kind of giving you more broader and more comprehensive view on cybersecurity in general. So we can go into, of course, into details about each and every topic, but what people should know about this is that it's like the Bible of cybersecurity, sort of. And of course, you cannot dive deep in every possible domain and every possible topic, but gives you enough understanding of these areas and gives you enough knowledge in order to kind of connect the dots, so to speak, and understand the security from a much more complex point of view. And that's actually the main benefit of this training. You will not be able to, have this deep dive into every possible topic. But from the other hand, you have your view expanded drastically, and you will be able to see cybersecurity from many different angles and understand different problems and issues that exist in this field. So that's why it's one of the kind of, let's say, one of the rare kind of trainings that you learn about everything that you can imagine for cybersecurity. And from the other hand, this makes it more challenging, obviously. So it's being what it is, means that it's a lot, kind of mostly theoretical in nature. And because you go from topic to a topic very fast, in a high speed, fast pace, and you need to have, let's say, enough, let's say, preliminary knowledge about some of these topics, but also you need to spend additional time on learning more about specific things. And even the course is ended, of course, you need to continue learning and absorb new information, new ideas about cybersecurity. So it's actually a journey. It's not just one course. It's far much more than that. So from that point of view, being again very theoretical in nature, this is the main struggle that we as instructors we have with this training, because mostly what you see as a delivery of this training, it's mostly the instructor talking and explaining different concepts and specific, let's say, areas, but not having enough time to demonstrate some stuff. Because actually, if you do that, most of the training will be just showcasing stuff. For example, specifically for more technical domains. But with New Horizons, we was able to define more, let's say, practical approach to deliver this training. And we have a lot of, let's say, hands-on sessions in which people and attendees will be able to practice the stuff that we are, talking about. We are focusing mostly on things that many professionals are not really, let's say, used to, or they didn't have probably enough experience with. More theoretical stuff that normally are not well understood. So, and more challenging as a topic. So our approach is to focus on things that most people don't know or don't have experience with, in order to emphasize, their value, and also to be able to properly, support the trainees into understanding this complex topic. So, in brief, this is what we're going to do. So, we're going to talk about a lot of things, and then we can practice some of the stuff that we learn in order to, properly and effectively learn about these new things. So, it's very complex. Again, it's very comprehensive, challenging, but we have the right way to deliver it, and most trainees will be very happy about what they're going to learn in this training course.
Thank you very much for your answer. And please, how would you define the prerequisites for this CISSP course? What skills should potential students already have to get the most from the training?
Well, first of all, there are some requirements that are kind of a part of the, it's kind of required by ICSSP in order to get certified, first of all, which means that you need to have 5 years experience in 2 or more of the 8 domains of so-called common body of knowledge, which is basically 8 modules that are delivered through the training. So this is something that you need to have in place in order to claim the certification after you finish the course and successfully pass the exam. So this is number one thing. Secondly, but even if you don't have that experience, for example, you have 3 years of experience, you're just starting with this. This doesn't mean that you cannot benefit from the training. The only caveat here is that after you pass the exam, you will not be able to, to wear this title of CISSP certified. You have something which is called IC² Associate certification. And the idea behind this is to, let's say, to give you enough to, you have the certification, pass the exam, and then you wait until you have these 5 years of experience, and then you can claim your CISSP certification without having to go to another exam or something like that. So as soon as you pass the exam, you can become CISSP certified, or you can become IC² Associate. So that's the way to do it. So, and also, of course, you need to have, aside from what IC² wants from you, it's highly recommended for you to understand and have practical experience with some of this domain anyway. So it's highly recommended to have a background in cybersecurity, at least 2 years, a couple of years. Not in everything, of course, but at least with some of the domains. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult if this is your first, let's say, introduction to cybersecurity certifications or cybersecurity-related job. So it's not really suitable for people which are just starting to develop themselves or just initiating their career path in cybersecurity. So you need some experience, but this should not be perceived as something that is focusing only on seasoned professionals having, let's say, 5-10 years of experience or something like that. Even if you have 2 or 3 years of experience, it's quite sufficient. So also highly recommended this for everyone who is going to participate in this training is to kind of look into all the domains and start self-prepare before you go to the training course. The reason for that is, first of all, as I said previously, it's like the Bible. So there are a lot of things inside. There are a lot of topics, a lot of things to talk about, and we go at a high pace, in a fast pace through these materials. So it will be very challenging if you don't have any idea of the content of the training, just to come to the Monday morning on the training and start to learn this from scratch. So it's highly recommended to kind of look into this before you go to the course in order to have at least some idea of what things are kind of taught there and what topics are discussed and so on and so forth. So these are kind of main things to consider. Aside from that, you have to understand that this is not just 5-day training course. It's a journey, as I mentioned. So you need to understand that you have to spend time after the training to prepare, self-prepare, to expand your knowledge set, and to make kind of work additionally on that, because it requires some time to prepare. It doesn't happen quickly unless you have 10-15 years of experience or something like that. Even that, it's sometimes not sufficient. So that's something that everyone should be aware of and have this mindset of, ready to spend time on that. That's very important. And again, you have to understand that this design of this course, it's mostly focusing on theory. Again, we managed to create something more interactive, more interesting and engaging, but again, it's highly theoretical in nature and requires a lot of things to learn, to remember, stuff like that. On average, just to give you a broad idea, on average, independent students will spend approximately 120 hours preparing for the exam itself. That's kind of the ballpark number. So you're going to spend 40 hours in the classroom, and you're going to still have to spend additional 60 hours or 70 hours to kind of comprehend this training, which means basically 2 hours a night or a day without the weekends. So that means 6 weeks of constant preparation, even sometimes more than that, if you can spare 2 hours per day. So this actually, it's very important to understand what's kind of the effort needed to pass successfully the exam. And again, my recommendation is to, first of all, before you attend the course, to kind of look into the topics. You can find a lot of the resources available online to give you some idea. Not to study, comprehensively that much, but to be able to understand the domains and so-called common body of knowledge of IC².
Thank you very much. And what international certificate will our student get after successfully passing the exam in the end of the training course?
Well, they won't get anything after the immediate ending of the course. They need to sit on the exam, basically, which is, give you an understanding of what the exam looks like. It's something that the length of the exam is maximum of 3 to, I think it's 4 hours now. The number of items, so this is, first of all, computerized adaptive testing exam. Which means that how this works, just to kind of briefly explain. So each candidate taking this exam will start with an item that is well below the passing standards. Following a candidate response to this item, the scoring algorithm re-estimates the candidate's ability based on the difficulty of all types presented and the answers provided. With each additional item answered, the computer estimate of the candidate's ability becomes more precise and gathers as much information as possible about the candidate's true ability level. So it's more challenging, I would say, compared to the traditional linear exams, which you normally have a question, 4 possible answers, and there is no type of a grading line, and it's not adapting according to your responses. So that's why people are finding this as a challenge, because you cannot go back to answer the question again, and you have to well understand the questions and provide a comprehensive answer. But again, it's cognitive-based question. You have 4 options normally, but there are some more kind of interactive, fewer interactive, let's say, questions as well. But in general, this is what is expected. So the number of questions can vary from 125 up to 175. Again, multiple choice and some advanced, innovative type of questions, drag and drop, for example, stuff like that. So the passing grade is 700 out of 1,000 points, so that's 7%. And after you successfully pass the exam, you need to go through endorsement process, which basically means that someone with CISSP, active CISSP certification, must confirm or kind of affirm that you have the knowledge set, or you have the experience, and basically vouch for you. Also, you need to provide information about your background, about your employment history, and about the job you've been doing in order to match this with the requirement of having the practical experience with at least two of the domains of CISSP. And after that, if everything is fine, you get certified with CISSP. And this is a typical type of certification, which in the context that you need to maintain the certification for a 3-year cycle. But again, as soon as you get that, it's well recognized across the globe. It's well regarded, and this is definitely going to increase your let's say credentials to existing and future employers, and as a professional in the field. So this is something that everybody understood, and everybody knows what it is and what's the value. Also, something very important, CISSP exam, it's well maintained, which means that you will not be able to find real questions from the exam online or something like that. The quality of exam is quite high. And the reason for that is that ICSP wants to maintain the quality of the examination in order to make sure that people with the right knowledge, real knowledge, are actually passing the exam. So that's why it's still regarded so highly, because of the examination process and about all the other elements related to it. So that's, in a nutshell, what you're going to get. A great title, a great certification that everybody recognizes.
Thank you very much for this great explanation. And the next question for you is, what job positions are suitable for specialists who just completed this course?
Well, listen, I mean, mostly this is not technical in nature. although there are so many technical stuff we're going to learn. So having said that, which basically means that the professionals having this certification mostly targeting CISO type of role or management, cybersecurity management, or information security officer, stuff like that. These are normally people responsible for cybersecurity in a given organization. And, the reason for that is that because based on all the the modules and the common body of knowledge gives you this kind of a broader understanding of cybersecurity, and this is really suitable in various scenarios in which you have to apply this knowledge in a real company, and solving complex challenges and problems in cybersecurity. So the most suitable type of job for that, again, it's management related mostly, or more high level, for example. But so it's not technical. It's not like security programmers or kind of let's say pen tester type of job. This is not really suitable for that. So this is kind of the main focus of CISSP certification.
Thank you very much. And the next question for you is, what can be the next step for the students after they take this course?
So I think I kind of touched base on that already. They have to continue learning, right? So they need to spend more time to focus on areas they feel more challenging. Again, being what it is, and having so many topics inside makes it so challenging. For example, if you have, let's say, experience in networking, maybe this domain is going to be more kind of easy to go through. But if you don't have any, let's say, management experience, for example, risk management and governance, probably is going to be more difficult. And you need to start learning more about that and to enhance your knowledge and so on and so forth. So this is what everybody should be doing after they finish the training. Again, nobody should expect that after 5 days, somebody will become, like in a miracle or something like that, became, knowledgeable about all these topics and domains. No, I mean, this requires a lot of work and requires dedication. So that's the recommendation. Continue to learn and about the topics, about the domains that the training provides, and enhance and expand your knowledge set. There are various techniques which can be used in order to do that effectively. Of course, you have the books and the training guides and all the other stuff. But after the training, we're going to provide additional materials and some kind of tricks and tricks, sort of, for the students to kind of quickly go through this and make it more effective. There are some, of course, quizzes. There are some, let's say, mind maps and all the other, training techniques that can be applied. So we want to provide all these things for the trainees in order for them to, effectively prepare for the exam. So again, we kind of discussed how much time probably is going to be and what kind of a level of dedication this requires. From my experience doing this training, and by the way, this was my first certification many years ago. And after I passed the exam, we together with supervisors created this training, to help other, professionals in the field to prepare more effectively. But my experience as an instructor, specifically for this training, I've seen a lot of people going through the training and just trying to forget about it after that, or kind of delaying and procrastinating, let's say, this additional work that's required to sit on the exam. And this kept us quite a lot, actually. And so what we're gonna also provide to the student, it's a training plan let's say, which is a kind of course, considering everyone's, time, availability, and capabilities. So we're going to have a personal training plan post this course, in order for them to know how much time and which kind of topics they need to focus on in order to be successful in the exam. So this actually is very important, to have well-structured plan, to prepare by yourself, and then fix the date of the exam. This is kind of the main strategy that should be applied in this scenario. So yeah, that's actually what is needed in order to pass the exam. But normally, you finish the training, you kind of you have this plan, self-prepare, and then go for the exam. That's the setup.
Thank you very much again, Boris, for taking the time to join us today. Thank you. I truly believe this interview had a lot of valuable information for the students, and the information you just gave us will help them decide on their application. Thank you again. I see you in your training.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.